Well, I thought we'd take this opportunity to have a chat about insurance. And today we're talking with Suzanne, who happens to be an employee of Tactical Solution for the last 6 months or so. And she was keen to share with us her experience with respect to insurance. Suzanne, you worked with AMP many years ago. Where else have you worked over the years?
I really worked for AMP and with different financial planners for about 10 years, but I've also worked in real estate as well, so
yep.
That's been predominantly my experience.
So working with AMP, you knew all about insurance and all about super, and I guess working with a large employer, you had some good insurance as part of the superannuation, is that right?
I definitely did. I mean, it was part of the agreement, I guess, with AMP that we had some really good death and total and permanent disablement insurance within our superannuation, but...
So death cover, total and permanent disability, did you have any income protection or temporary salary continuance in that plan?
Within that plan, I think I did for a maximum of 2 years, but I had actually stopped working with AMP and therefore the temporary salary continuance was no longer in place. I'd let that go and I'd started working in real estate and they didn't have that arrangement.
You're still young, so obviously at that stage you were thinking, I'm young, I'm bulletproof, nothing could possibly go wrong. What do I need insurance for anyway? Are they the sort of thoughts that you might have had if you had any at all? Or
well, if I did sort of think about it, I thought, oh no, I'm okay, nothing's possibly going to happen to me. I mean, I met a wonderful man, we moved to Queensland, we got engaged, we bought my grandmother's house. It was all, after she passed away, it was all fantastic, and we actually got pregnant and...
So you were living the dream. Everything was wonderful.
I was.
Everything was wonderful.
Everything was.
And the last thing on your mind was insurance.
Yeah, absolutely.
But now, here a few years later, you're still happily married and a baby who's heading to school in the next year, I think.
Next year, yeah.
So it's all good. From an insurance point of view, you were saying to me that you really wish you still had it. Why is that?
Well, 6 weeks after the birth of our little boy, happiest time of your life, I was diagnosed with MS, with multiple sclerosis, and had the worst time ever. I was so sick, I was in and out of hospital, I couldn't take care of myself really, let alone our little boy, and so Dave my husband had to give up work and look after the two of us, and we had to sell our house because we couldn't afford it, obviously on a Centrelink pension, and we had to move in with my mother, and then she got breast cancer, and
wow.
Yeah, it was a horrible time.
So it went from everything was wonderful
living the dream
to Centrelink, and you know, we're lucky we live in Australia and Centrelink has got money for us, because it would have been worse without Centrelink.
Yeah.
But I guess you would have been able to keep the house if you had the right insurances in place, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely, and that would have been amazing, just to know that we could have, I could have raised my boy and lived in that home that was our first home together, and we still don't have a home, and we're not looking close to being able to afford that again because the money just runs out very quickly. Centrelink doesn't go very far at all.
Now, at the moment, it looks like a big story. You don't look like you've got MS. So you said it was bad from a health point of view, but now it's better at the moment?
Well, that's exactly right. I mean, I was sick for the first 2 and a bit years, and sick to the point where I couldn't possibly work, and I could barely function, and my husband, he was off work for I think about 14 months looking after us, and then sort of went back to work eventually. But yeah, I've been fortunate in that I've gone on a drug trial and it's gone very, very well for me, but that can change. That can change. I've got what they call relapsing remitting MS, which means at any time it can come back and it can last for up to 6 to 8 weeks, and then hopefully it all goes away and doesn't leave any permanent damage, but
And the difficulty now, of course, is that it's
I'm
hard.
uninsurable.
It's hard to get insurance
Can't
with
get
this
insurance.
pre-existing condition. So what's the? Yeah, one of the things I say to people is get the insurance when you're young and fit and healthy.
And I wish I had.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So get it when you don't need it,
Yeah.
so that when you do need it,
Then it's there.
it's there.
Yeah.
Apart from that message, is there anything else you'd want to share with people about, insurance and, it's just part of financial planning? But
It is, and when you have a mortgage and when you have a child, and when you're in a relationship without a child, you are so dependent on each other financially, really. And if one thing happens to take out, it totally disrupts the equation. And if you don't have the right insurance in place, it just it's very hard to get back on track.
Well, well done for hanging in there, and
Thank you for the job.
and to everyone else who's watching, at Tactical Solutions, we help you address all these issues beforehand, and certainly in some cases we help people provide financial advice for them when things do go wrong. But please consider the insurances, and if you think you can't afford it, come and talk to us anyway, and we'll show you how you can utilise your superannuation to get some of the insurances that you need at this stage. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Suzanne.